All right, so we're the handsome Mr. F. Ready, Finley? Find it. So he's definitely getting a lot more comfortable in the environment, which is great. He's going right into these awesome find its, where in the beginning, if you remember when he first started, he had no idea what find its were. So Finley, come. Yes. So we're just warming up again with some find its into some name recognition or a few little recalls. Finley, come. Yes, so very nice. So remember too that whenever we're practicing anything with the handsome guy, I know we've discussed, thinking about it as there being like a bank account attached to every skill or behavior. Ready? Finley, come. Nice job. So like right now, he's actually bouncing back and forth between his new girlfriend, Miss Pepper, who says she would like to also practice again. But she is in her own little bubble for now because we're working with Mr. F. Ready, Finley? Come. That was beautiful. So lovely little name recognition from the distraction. He's doing a real nice job with our lovely lady friend off in the distance. So Finley, come. Yes. So definitely make sure that obviously when you're practicing and trying to generalize some of these awesome skills with him, he didn't see that one. We'll find it later. Ready? Find it. Is the benefit of working through some of these skills in an easier venue first and then building up to harder is that, remember, just like with anybody, we have to learn the basics of the behavior first or the skill set and then integrate it into generalizing that skill. So generalizing is where you're taking something your pup has started to understand and feel comfortable with, and then bring it into either different environments with different criteria. So for example, Finley, come. Yes, what a good boy. Is we want him to start thinking that he could offer this skill in a different environment with different scenarios of distractions, like with Miss P saying woo woo. Ready? Finley, come. What a good boy. So that way he can kind of work through the exercises. I'm going to toss a few little goodies for Miss P though, so she can stay a little distracted, even though she's doing a great job being a little bit of a distraction for Mr. Handsome. Find it. So ready? Finley. Nice job, sir. So great little name recognition. Right here, I'm going to feed him for that lovely check-in. So remember, generalizing of skills does take time and a lot of good reps. If, for example, he doesn't have a good enough base of understanding how to do the behavior or the skill set, like the sit or the recall or whatever it might be, we want to still work those situations in bubbles where it's very easy. So I know we mentioned the green, yellow, and red sort of set of lights. Getting your puppy to feel comfortable in mostly green environments, skill sets, and then move into some of the yellow where they're still reliable and able to bounce back, but they're still a little bit unsure, but they're still, again, taking food and working through that dynamic. If, again, we're mostly going from green to red, what that tends to be is your pup was doing pretty well and they understood the concept. And then a lot of times then people will say, well, my puppy's being stubborn, or he's not listening, or he's deciding not to pay attention. Remember that your babes will do whatever makes them either feel safe or comfortable. It's not always, for example, where we think the dog is on purpose trying to not pay attention. So remember, if we've built up that it's maybe more fun to do other things like chase bunnies or dig in the yard or play with a neighbor dog, then how many times have we made our bubble feel like it could be fun or engaging? So ready? So we'll do a little bit more with this lovely loose leash walk-in, even though, again, we have no gear, which is fine. Ready, Finley? Nice little check back in. So, but remember that if your babe is ever giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time. So try to bring it back to something they could do instead. Nice job. Miss P says, woe is me, I really wanted to rumble some more. So obviously generalization, like we mentioned, takes time, lots of good reps, but you want to start thinking about those 3 Ds as well. So we've mentioned this in the past, like your duration to how long can your puppy do something and do it well. Ready? To then also, that was a beautiful positive interrupter, to also working, for example, already find it, with your handsome guy and doing your duration. And I might have to grab Miss P something to chew on. So 1 second, I'll be right back. Poor Mr. Handsome Pants over here is like, what the heck, lady? I know, we were working. But I'm just going to grab Miss P a fun little chew item real quick to keep her occupied. And then we'll go ahead and we'll keep working with the handsome guy. Just going to find something delicious. So sorry about being out of camera range for a moment. Here we go, Miss P. See if you want to play with that one for a second. So with our handsome guy, as we were discussing, and that was just me closing the closet door. Sorry if that was loud. And as again, sorry about being on a camera shot again. But when it comes to working with our handsome guy or any of the beauties, your 3Ds would be your duration. So how long can my puppy do something and do it well and feel comfortable and attainable or reliable? Then the other one would be your distance. How far can you get from your puppy, or how far could your puppy get from you? Oh, he heard the train. How's that train doing? So remember right there, I'm not feeding for the woo-woo or getting nervous. I'm trying to help redirect him to doing the find its instead of getting flustered by the train noise as it passed by. Oh my gosh, chewing is so hard. So, but I want him to start thinking that sometimes if the train is about to come, and that normally equals I'm not sure what to do, and there goes the woo-woo or the feelings of anxiety, I want him to be able to go from that to let's do a find it. Let's do a name recognition. Let's do another skill set. Like maybe if he's feeling comfortable, he could offer a gorgeous little sitting position. What a smart boy. Oh, so good. But again, your 3Ds, you got your duration, your distances, and then we also have our distractions. So what are we competing against to keep our puppies focused on us versus the environment? So like today, we had a utility guy who was here from the power company. Then before that, we had the guy that was coming with my property manager, who was checking on some of the traps in the building to make sure everything is, going well there. And then again, it's just been one thing after another. So, and then there was the choo-choo train that went by. So, but Mr. Handsome is doing a very nice job. So we'll get Mr. F's attention back on me. We'll do again a little bit with this lovely loose leash walking. And remember too that when you're practicing in the household, ready, Finley, come. Keep your sessions short and sweet for greater success. So I typically would like to keep sessions like 5 to 10 minutes, if that. So that way your babe has the option to do a couple little skills, take a breather, and then continue with their day. And then you might do another few minutes here and there when you have the availability. But if you're setting aside big chunks of time for training, that tends to be hard on you guys to maintain, but also kind of harder on the pups. Oh my gosh, chewing is so optional. You got it okay? My goodness, running and eating is very hard. Maybe we should take a little breather and drink some water. Oh, well, that's a very good set. So with your handsome guy, just assess, am I going really fast in his steps? Have I even worked the skill before needing it? And have I been really careful about generalizing this behavior so that way your dog does realize that a sit could happen in the yard from 10 feet away while the other neighbor's dog is barking? So because a lot of times people don't realize that the generalization is what's missing in the protocol for helping your puppy be able to perform these skills no matter where they might be and with different levels of distraction. So right here, we're getting some beautiful engagement for Mr. Handsome. Right there, feed for that little moment. So, but I would highly recommend for the handsome guy is not saying you must, but you may find like maybe a one-on-one could be another great way to bridge the gap between, obviously day school is great because I get to work with him, but then the nice thing about doing a one-on-one or potentially maybe a group class down the road is that then you guys can work together, build up these same skills that we're working on here at Doggy Day School, and then be able to be the one working with him in the dynamic. So it's almost, again, taking like your dance instructor and now you're back with your partner and now you guys have to work on the dance moves without the instructor being right there. Nice job being the one dancing with the puppy, if that makes sense. So right now he's doing some beautiful find its with some very nice reorientation to me, but maybe we'll give him a little breather for this and then we'll work another couple little skills for the handsome guy. But that was really, really nice job with his loose leash walking and his recalls and bouncing back from distractions.